Hey, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to Apple's Art Studio. I'm Apples, otherwise known as Paula sometimes, and I'm honored to be on Tiny Pandora's Be Seen, Be Known Design Team 2019. Let's go back where the magic happens. Let's go to the studio. Hi and welcome to Whimsical Whoo. First off, I want to show you what I use to do this with. It's a wind chime. As you can see, it's got the owls from Tiny Pandora's kit. And let me show you the kit and what comes in it. I have used this silk screen over and over and over because I've done several of these wind chimes. They're just so cute. This is Pandora's Owl Collar Me kit. It comes with a silk screen with 4 different owls on it. It comes with little itty bitty paintbrushes where you can use them with like acrylic paint or alcohol inks or mica powders. I mean anything to get into these little areas. It also comes with a sponge brush and a 2-ended brush. One's an angle and one's a round brush. An owl cutter. So once you do your silk screen on your clay, then you can cut it out, and I'll show you that in just a minute. And you get a generous amount of tiny bales so you can turn these into pendants. A lot of people you've seen do videos on the owls and the hearts and the elephants, turning them into pendant necklaces. And I just wanted to do something a little bit different. And I found these wind chimes for $1 at the Dollar Tree. And I thought, well, it may take some doing to turn them into something because you got to take them apart and then put them back together. But I thought it was well worth it, and it turned out to be definitely worth it. Once you take your clay, and this is a white Primo clay. I rolled it out on a number 0 or 1 on my atlas, so your thickest setting. I silk screened it with plain black acrylic paint. I let it dry thoroughly. You set your cutters right over top of it, and they match up pretty well. There's number 1. Let's get this one straight to my angle here. And there's the second one. And what I do at this point, I would just bake them and cure them. I put them in the oven. This is Primo, so go in at 275. And I'd bake them for 20 or 30 minutes. And then I used with these chameleon markers. And so you get your brightness from there. The only other things that you need to do, and it doesn't have to be owls, you could do this with anything, but I just thought the owls would be so cute with this. On your wind chimes, let me get these out of the way because I need to cure those in the oven. With the wind chimes, with this one I took turquoise Primo clay and ran it through on a number 5, which is a little bit on the thin side. I put it directly on top of the wood, and I used well-bond glue to attach it to the wood. And then I put Ivy Niles canes on it. Canes, and also her heart canes. And I just cut the slices out and attached them. I did burnish them down to where they were relatively smooth with the surface. To cut both of these out, I rolled out my turquoise to where it was like 2.5, 3 inches wide and 10.5, 11 inches long. And that piece of clay got both of these right like this cut out of it. And I only used like a half a block of 2-ounce clay, so it wasn't that much. So once I got my silk screen on my owls, and I got my clay on the base, and I got my cane slices all on here, I did add a little bit of sort of glittery mica powders on there. Just dabbed it on, so if I set it outside and it catches the sun, then it will do that little sparkly thing. You can probably see it better on this. But this has been a fun project, and let me get this baked and I'll come back and show you how to assemble it. Okay, I've got everything baked now, and I actually have Pandora's Deep Shine on it. It's a UV brush-on finish, and it cures under a UV lamp. And Pandora's got the lamp, the deep shine, brushes, and a bunch of goodies all together in one set. So go to tinypandora.com for your deep shine. And I went in with chameleon pins, and all I did was color in, because this is the Owl Color Me series kit. So I colored in the owls. I put them on a little wire this time instead of string, and hooked them a jump ring in with the little tiny screw eyes. All the other screw eyes came with this, and I took them off so I could put my canes on here and put my clay on here and bake it. But I reassembled them with the same thread, the same screw eyes and everything. I also took off the top of this so I could bake this long part, because I'm not sure that the string that came on it was oven safe. I mean, I'm sure it probably is, but I just wanted to add my own special touch. And I put a little bead up here. And then you've got your bamboo tubes, and then your little knocker tube down here. I took the thread off of this bottom part of it, a little bead, and I put the matching lime green bamboo cord on it. Now let me show you what I used and how I did it. It's not really that hard. You take it apart and put it back together. I used the bamboo cord. It's natural, it's strong, and it's going to last whether you put it inside or outside. And you can restring all of this and get brilliant colors in this bamboo cord and make your cord and stuff really pretty as well. I just really wanted to focus on the owls. I also used a little hand drill. This was to put my 3 tiny screw eyes in to hang my owls on. And I made the rest of these screw eye holes a little bit larger right before I put them back in. And I used Gorilla Super Glue Gel. And I super glued all of my screw eyes back in there. You'll need a pair of pliers of some sort to hold the screw eyes, and they're little, so you need some sort of little pliers. You'll need scissors to cut your string with. You'll need something to help poke the thread back through the holes, but it really helps if you make the holes a little bit larger, because my bamboo cord was a little bit larger. So let me get this out of the way. And also on the sides of my owls, I used a silver metallic Sharpie and went over them. And there was still a place on each owl that I added just a touch of silver, just to sparkle it up just a tiny bit. But I went through and just placed it all around the edges on my owls. And when I put my owls, before I bake my owls, I put a small channel on one side since I knew I was going to try a small wire, and this is a 24 gauge wire. So I put a small channel in the owl like halfway down, and I cut my wire 2 inches long, and after they were baked I put my wire in that little channel and super glue around the edges and squish the owls together. And I'll show you the first one I did real quick. It was done on the lighter bamboo wood. It has some of my canes and some of Ivy's owl canes on it. And this part has, it's black primo, and it has some of my canes and some of Ivy's owls and flowers and stuff on it. And they also have the deep shine on them as well. And these owls were also done with the chameleon markers and a deep shine on top of them. So, and I used a copper Sharpie on the side of this to get the color there on the side so it just wasn't stark white looking. So let's get some of these things out of the way and you can see both sets of owls and what they look like. This was a fun project, and I do encourage you to do it. And especially if you have kids, do it with your kids. Let them help. This is fun. So I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Blessings. On these owls, I've used the Born Pretty powders, mica powders, alcohol inks, different types of markers, acrylic paints, any product that I had, pastel chalks. I did them on black clay and white clay to see the difference of the product on the lighter color and the darker color clay. A little stamp and a little mold of a sun and a moon, and I added those on there. And all sorts of wooden beads.